Disneyland Paris is one of the most beautiful Disney parks in the world. It's full of amazing details and hidden gems, and its design is astounding.
One of the things that makes this park so great is its amazing animatronics. And you guys know how much we love animatronics. So today, we'll be talking about the best Disneyland Paris animatronics.
Merlin's Dragon, the Dragon's Lair.
What are you doing? We need to talk about this animatronic.
I know, but I'm trading. I need to finish these sets. If any of you want to help me, check out Disney Collects by Tops. This is an amazing app where Disney fans all over the world can collect and trade our favorite character cards. The app has amazing card sets like this Faces of Evil set, which includes many awesome motion cards, as well as daily releases and limited time exclusives. We love getting new cards, but the fun part is trading with other Disney fans around the world because we can't get those sets complete by ourselves and we want those awards.
There's a new awesome color splash set that we need to complete. So if you're already using the app, go ahead and follow us so we can trade. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, you should. It's completely free and available for iOS and Android. So download it, look for our username, follow us, and let's complete our collections. We'll leave a link in the description. Now back to the video.
So, as we said before, Disneyland Paris is full of hidden gems, and one of these gems is the dragon underneath the castle. When Disneyland Paris was being built, Imagineer Terry Harding was given the task of designing the dragon's lair. So first, she needed to come up with the dragon's story. Many people think that the dragon beneath the castle is Maleficent, when in fact it's Merlin's dragon. When Merlin was young, he crossed paths with the young dragon and they soon became friends. Years later, they realized that they were supposed to be enemies, but they didn't mind and they continued being friends. When Merlin retired, the king gave him and his dragon a home in the castle. Merlin opened up a shop and the dragon moved into the cavern below. When Harding started to design the dragon, she decided to look at the dragon that could be seen in the Cinderella Castle Mystery Tour at Tokyo Disneyland and created a copy, but she added the parts that were not visible to guests in the tour. At first, Walt Disney Imagineering had intended the dragon to be a static figure, but Harding was having none of it, and decided to personally talk to Tony Baxter and convince him that the dragon had to be an animatronic and that it had to be in constant motion. In the original design, the dragon would not be wearing a collar because that would not make sense, being that the dragon was Merlin's friend. But as we can see in the final version, the dragon ended up wearing one. It can be seen calmly sleeping, and while it sleeps, we can see the movements in its tail and paws. This is an amazing animatronic and one of the biggest ever created by Imagineers at 89 feet long. And while the dragon is certainly imposing, several techniques were used to make the experience at the lair not too frightening for small children. By highlighting certain parts of its head with lighter colors, the dragon appears less frightening, but the whole experience is amazing.
Sven, Frozen Parade. Frozen is a worldwide phenomenon and has become one of the strongest Disney franchises. It has a ride in Walt Disney World and lands planned for Walt Disney Studios Park and Tokyo Disneyland, and it has proven to be a success for park guests all over the world. So taking advantage of this success, Disneyland Paris announced a new celebration for this park. Frozen Celebration is a special event that has many Frozen-related activities, merch, and shows. One of these is a new show that takes place 4 times a day along the park's parade route. This show includes a parade with an awesome float based on Elsa's ice castle that features Elsa, Anna, Olaf, and an amazing animatronic Sven. This animatronic is a life-size Sven that interacts with Kristoff, who we can find walking behind the float. The animatronic has amazing expressions and movements, and even sticks out its tongue every once in a while. It's pretty cool to see such an advanced animatronic for a parade float. This float is very similar to the one we can see at Disneyland in the new Magic Happens parade. But the Magic Happens float sadly doesn't have the Sven animatronic.
The Phantom Manor. When Tony Baxter was assigned the Disneyland Paris designer, he decided that many Disney classic attractions needed to be modified for the new park. One of these attractions was the Haunted Mansion. The attraction was given a darker tone than the original Haunted Mansion, and that's how Phantom Manor was created. When the attraction was being planned, it was decided that its story would have to be a part of Thunder Mace's story, the fictional town portrayed in Frontierland. And so, the attraction told the story of Mr. Ravenswood, owner of the Big Thunder Mountain Mining Company, and his beautiful daughter Melanie. When Melanie fell in love with a miner, Mr. Ravenswood vowed to stop their wedding. But before he could do anything, a terrible earthquake killed him and his wife Martha. Upon his death, a mysterious phantom appeared, hanging Melanie's soon-to-be husband and cursing Melanie's spirit to forever wait for her lost love. Phantom Manor was closed in December 2017 for an extensive refurbishment. It remained closed for over a year, but it finally opened up back in May 2019. There were many changes done to this ride, and one of them was the story. If you want to know more about the changes that came to Phantom Manor, check out this video. Now, the new story is pretty similar. Henry Ravenswood is not happy with any of his daughter's suitors, so he made sure each and every one of them is out of the picture. But again, he is killed in an earthquake and comes back as a phantom. We get to see the Phantom many times during the ride, but there are two main Phantom animatronics. The first one is found just outside Melanie's room. We see him laughing and standing right next to a grave he apparently dug, hoping we fall inside. And then, right before the ride ends, we see him again. Before the refurbishment, this animatronic was terrifying. He was seen as a decaying, green-skinned corpse. His clothes were torn, and he was laughing uncontrollably. This animatronic was changed to be exactly like the Phantom we see during the whole ride. He is laughing and standing next to an open coffin. This ride is amazing, and was definitely our favorite attraction during our recent visit to Disneyland Paris.
Hey, who's that handsome guy?
Hey, look, Chris, it's us!
Hey guys, welcome! We were just talking about some animatronics that we found in Disneyland Paris.
We loved visiting this park, except of course when we lost the Pro Sparkpass challenge.
I think they cheated.
I think so too.
If you guys haven't watched the video, go ahead and take a look.
We'll leave a link in the description below.
Cheated? What are you talking about? You had your own personal guide in the maze. I think you should have won. You definitely are the ones that cheated, not Provost Park Pass.
We had so much fun with you guys, and we love Disneyland Paris.
But anyways, I hope you don't mind if we jump in. We would love to talk about the remaining animatronics at Disneyland Paris.
That would be awesome, guys.
Take it away.
Captain Barbossa. Since it opened at Disneyland back in 1967, Pirates of the Caribbean has been a staple of Disney parks around the world.
Come seeking adventure and salty old pirates, eh? Sure, you've come to the proper place. But keep a weather eye open, mates, and hold on tight. With both hands, if you please.
So much so that there's a Pirates of the Caribbean ride in almost every Disney resort in the world. And even though each one of these rides is different, they're all spectacular. The ride first opened in 1967 at Disneyland, followed by the one in Magic Kingdom in 1973, Tokyo Disneyland in 1983, and Disneyland Paris in 1992. Finally, a reimagined version of the ride called Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure opened at Shanghai Disneyland Park in 2016. Pirates of the Caribbean has had many changes in the park throughout the years, but one of the biggest changes to the ride came in 2006. You see, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride famously inspired the Pirates of the Caribbean film series, starting with The Curse of the Black Pearl in 2003. So in 2006, Disneyland's Pirates closed to be refurbished, and when it opened again, Jack Sparrow had taken over the ride. Oy! In order to tie in the movie with the ride, 3 Jack Sparrow animatronics were added. He first appears at the well dunking scene, hiding behind some dresses. Later, he hides in a barrel and peeks at a treasure map that a pirate is holding. And finally, at the end of the ride, he lounges in a chair, celebrating with his new treasure. With this refurbishment also came a Captain Barbossa animatronic that replaced the pirate captain in the battle room, and an added waterfall projection of Davy Jones' face in the cave, as well as other modifications to the ride's lighting, audio, dialogue, and effects. These changes were also done to the Walt Disney World ride. In 2011, to coincide with the release of the 2011 film Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, a projection of Captain Blackbeard temporarily replaced the missed projection of Davy Jones in both the Disneyland and Magic Kingdom versions of the attraction. Beginning on May 20th, 2011, the ride eventually incorporated alternating projections of both Davy Jones and Blackbeard on the waterfall. After these additions, a rumor started floating around saying that Johnny Depp sometimes liked to dress up as Jack Sparrow and go inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride to surprise guests. This was, of course, false, but in 2017, Disney decided to take advantage of this rumor and make it a reality. So during the ride's 50th anniversary and to promote the newest Pirates movie, some lucky guests were surprised when they rode Pirates of the Caribbean and found the real-life Jack Sparrow greeting and interacting with them during the well dunking scene.
Everybody drop your weapons and put your hands up! Hands up! Yeah, give me all the cash and that camera. I've been expecting you for hours. My name is Captain Jack Sparrow, and I would like to swim to you, jump in your boat, walk on down.
It wasn't until this year that Disneyland Paris announced that the ride would go under refurbishments for the park's 25th anniversary, and animatronics of Jack Sparrow would be added to 2 scenes. These 2 new animatronics are great and very similar to the ones found at Disneyland and Disney World. But there was another fantastic animatronic that appeared after this refurbishment. An amazing Captain Barbossa animatronic appeared, joining a skeletal crew in a scene unique to Disneyland Paris. The lifelike figure transforms from a human into a ghost pirate with a crack of lightning and thunder, complete with a maniacal laugh. The animatronic enhanced with effects make this animatronic one of the best animatronics in the park.
The Giant Squid and Mysteries of the Nautilus. Disney has had a long relationship with Jules Verne's attractions. Since Disneyland opened back in 1955, Walt decided to ship the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie sets to Anaheim to turn them into a walk-through attraction in Tomorrowland. Then, when Imagineers were planning Walt Disney World, they were looking at Disneyland and deciding which rides should be duplicated at the new park. They decided to turn the 20,000 Leagues walk-through attraction into a ride and open it. They took the popular e-ticket attraction Submarine Voyage and mixed it with the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea theme, and the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride was created. Then, after opening Magic Kingdom, Tony Baxter started working on a new project. He was given the task of turning Disneyland's Frontierland relevant again and creating a brand new land. So, again, drawing upon inspiration from Jules Verne, Tony Baxter came up with Discovery Bay. Discovery Bay would have been a steampunk port city of glass spires, golden towers, geysers, zephyrs, time machines, hot air balloons, lighthouses, inventors, thinkers, philosophers, and dreamers. And in this land, Nemo's Nautilus would have been docked in the rivers of America. This ride would be a simulator called Nemo's Adventure. The land would also have another e-ticket attraction based on Disney's 1974 Jules Verne-inspired film, The Island at the Top of the World. But sadly, after this film was a box office flop, Disneyland Bay was canceled entirely. 20 years later, Tony Baxter was named the creative director for Disneyland Paris. This meant he had a chance to create a Disney park that had a more European feel. So, using the concept of Discovery Bay, he created Discovery Mountain. Discovery Mountain was entirely a tribute to Jules Verne's stories. It would have had a unique space mountain, the Nautilus floating in a lagoon with a restaurant inside Captain Nemo's Grand Salon, access to Star Tours and the former Cinemagique attractions, and also Journey to the Center of the Earth. A free-fall ride designed by Imagineers years before they even came up with the Twilight Zone Tower Terror. But because of budgetary reasons, this fantastic land was never built. Instead, Discovery Land was created. Discovery Land is a gleaming golden seaside port that represents the future, but as it was envisioned by the past, a tomorrow that maybe H.G. Wells, Leonardo da Vinci, and of course Jules Verne might have imagined. This land has many attractions, but there's one unique attraction that we can't find in any other Disney park around in the world: the Mysteries of the Nautilus. This underrated attraction can be found in the Discovery Land Lagoon. Just before entering the attraction, we see the Nautilus in its full glory, giving the illusion that we're about to enter as soon as we're down the spiral stairs. We get to explore the Nautilus's 6 rooms. We first enter the ballast compartment. This is a dimly lit room with an open safe in the center. Inside the safe is the treasure Captain Nemo has gathered from his many underwater explorations. Ned Land's guitar from this movie is visible among the coins. Next comes Captain Nemo's room. This cabin, complete with a bed and bathroom, allows us to have a look at the captain's belongings and collections of books and paintings. Next, we enter the charts room. This room is the hub of the Nautilus, with staircase ascending to a wheelhouse and the main deck above, although sadly we cannot visit those areas. Several charts are displayed, including one representing Volcano Island, Nemo's later in the movie. Then comes the diving chamber. In this center of the small chamber is a trapdoor leading to the bottom of the ocean underneath. Diving suits stand along the wall. We continue until we get to the main salon. This is the heart of the Nautilus. Books, artifacts, and numerous treasures of the sea are gathered here. The captain's organ stands on the far side, and guests can see Nemo's reflection when staring at the mirror just above the keys. Here's where we find the giant squid animatronic. Just at the center of the room, there are 2 closed windows that look out at the ocean. One of these windows opens up every once in a while so that we can appreciate the depths of the sea. But suddenly, a giant squid starts attacking the Nautilus. The defense mechanisms activate and succeed in scaring the giant beast away. This animatronic has very fluid tentacles and mouth movements and 2 enormous red eyes that, along with the light and bubble effects, make this encounter pretty impressive. The animatronic is about 15 feet long, which makes it one of the biggest animatronics in the park along with the dragon. This interaction used to be much longer. It began with the organ playing John Sebastian Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor, and with Nemo's short speech about his ocean kingdom. Then, the window opened for guests to witness the ocean depths, until a giant tentacle hit the glass. Captain Nemo ordered the window to close and tried to free the submarine from the squid's grip, yet bursts of water from the ceiling reached the audience, and the engines eventually broke down. Finally, as the window reopened, guests could see the whole monster. Electric zaps struck it, but it would not unleash the submarine until the zaps got stronger and stronger. Due to technical problems, this scene was shortened. Nowadays, the animatronic is in B mode, so it doesn't move as much as it used to. There are no current plans for fixing it, but hopefully Disney will do it soon and return it to its former glory.
Bruce, Crush Coaster. During the 1990s, the concept of creating a park based on the behind-the-scenes part of a studio was very popular. It led to the creation of MGM Studios, Universal Studios, the Paramount Parks, Warner Brothers Movie World, among others. So naturally, when Euro Disney was being planned, an MGM Studios type park was a must. This park would have been called MGM Studios Europe, and it would be an indoor park with a French version of the Great Movie Ride. But sadly, in the beginning, Euro Disney didn't do as great as the company expected, and neither did Orlando's MGM Studios, so the plans for this park were canceled. In the late 1990s, Euro Disney's name changed to Disneyland Paris, and this park was doing great, so Michael Eisner decided to get on board with giving Disneyland Paris a second gate.
Who's moving in?
The movie people.
Coming March the 16th, Walt Disney Studios, a new theme park at Disneyland Resort Paris.
Say, who wants to go meet the new neighbors?
Come live the magic of cinema. Walt Disney Studios at Disneyland Resort Paris.
The park opened in 2002, but it had 2 significant problems since the beginning. The first problem was theme. The behind-the-scenes theme wasn't working out since nothing was being filmed or created in the park, so guests didn't feel the real excitement of being behind the scenes of the creation of a film. The second problem was the lack of attractions. When the park opened in 2002, it only had 8 attractions, and most of them were shows, so there was not a lot to do at the park. This same problem affected Disney's MGM Studios, and this is where designers knew that they had to find a better way to impress guests. So the theme park renaissance arrived. During this time, theme parks started finding better ways to immerse guests into fantasy worlds. So parks like Animal Kingdom and Islands of Adventure were created. And in an effort to revitalize the park, in January of 2005, it was announced that the Walt Disney Studios Park would be refurbished, starting with the animation courtyard that would become Toon Studio. And this refurbishment brought to the park Crush's Coaster. As soon as this ride opened, it became one of the most popular attractions in the park. Most of the ride is indoors, so it's kind of a mix between a roller coaster and a dark ride. The ride takes us to the Sydney Harbor, where we climb aboard turtle shells that will take us to our undersea adventure. We first dive into the ocean, splash. We were taken to the Great Barrier Reef. Here we meet Nemo and Squirt. We continue our journey moving past some glowfish on our way to the dark depths of the ocean. Suddenly we get to the sunken submarine completely surrounded by jellyfish. Inside the submarine we meet the sharks. They first appear as a projection on the wall, but then we get to see a pretty cool animatronic of Bruce. This animatronic might not be one of the most advanced, but it's one of the only 2 animatronics that can be found in this park. Actually, this is the only ride that contains animatronics in all Walt Disney Studios Park. Aside from Bruce, we can also see some animatronic seagulls while we're waiting in the queue. Walt Disney Studios Park is still in the process of growing and expanding. And with upcoming lands like Avengers Campus, Galaxy's Edge, and the new amazing Arendelle Kingdom, the park is leaving behind its rocky past and slowly becoming one of the best Disney parks.
Disney parades are full of great details. In each parade, we can see great costumes, fantastic floats, and awesome characters. They've got catchy music and fun choreographies, and of course, great animatronics. The Disney Stars on Parade at Disneyland Paris is no different. The parade premiered on March 26, 2017 as part of the park's 25th anniversary celebration, and it celebrates the discovery of the lands of imagination represented by many Disney films that we often see in the parades like Toy Story, Sleeping Beauty, and Frozen, and also some less represented ones like The Jungle Book. Disneyland Paris has a habit of replacing their parades every 5 years. This parade replaced the Disney Magic on Parade, which ran from April 1st, 2012, the park's 20th anniversary, until March 24th, 2017, when the park turned 25. And Disney Stars on Parade will be replaced by a new parade for the park's 30th anniversary in celebration in 2022. The parade has 8 units. Discover the Magic, which features Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Chip, Dell, and Pluto wearing retro futuristic costumes. Also, Tinkerbell can be seen on the top of the float, escaping from the pages of an enormous storybook. Mary Poppins, Bert, Alice, the Mad Hatter, Aladdin, the Genie, Tigger, and Pinocchio also appear dancing at the beginning. Next comes the Discovery Friendship Float, which features Buzz sitting on a toy rocket pulling a red trolley filled with Andy's toys, including Woody, Slinky, and many little green men. The Discover adventure follows, where we can see this super cute animatronic Simba standing on Pride Rock with Rafiki, Timon, and Zazu. King Louie can also be seen in this part because the back of the float is Jungle Book themed. Mowgli can be seen sitting on a branch while Baloo is seen sleeping in a hammock formed by Kaa. This float was used initially in Tokyo's Disneyland's Parade Jubilation, but when the parade was retired, the float was redressed so it could be reused for Disney Stars on Parade. After this, we can see Wendy Darling and some of the Lost Boys dancing. Behind them, the Discover Imagination float follows, where we can see Captain Hook is sitting on top of Skull Rock with Mr. Smee sitting below them. Behind Captain Hook and Mr. Smee, we see Peter Pan at the helm of the flying ship along with some of the Lost Boys. This is another recycled float from Tokyo's Disneyland's Jubilation Parade. Next comes Nemo, Dory, and Marlin swimming before the Discover a New World float. In this float, a massive animatronic Crush can be seen swimming above the coral reef with Squirt and some other young sea turtles. Bloat, Jenny, and Charlie can be seen in the back swimming above a diver's helmet that has Pearl and Sheldon inside. The most impressive of all the parade's floats comes next. In the Discover Enchantment unit, we see Prince Philip going against some brambles in order to get through and battle Maleficent. Maleficent appears as a giant animatronic steampunk fire-breathing dragon. This dragon is imposing and terrifying at the same time. Is so amazing to see. The dragon is a replica of the one that is currently seen at Magic Kingdom's Festival of Fantasy Parade, who caught fire back in 2018. Following this fantastic animatronic float, the Discover Romance section of the parade can be seen. Rapunzel and Flynn lead the royal procession on a horse-drawn carriage, followed by Tiana and Naveen. Snow White and the Prince and Ariel and Eric are waltzing right behind and along with Aurora and Flora and Fauna and Merryweather. They are followed by Belle and Prince Adam and Cinderella and Prince Charming, also in a horse-drawn carriages. The end of the parade brings us to the Discover Wonder unit, where Kristoff is first seen dancing alongside several snowflakes in the float. Olaf is sitting on a rocking horse version of Sven, while Elsa and Anna stand on the balcony of a toy ice palace. I can't wait to see what Disneyland Paris comes up with next. I'm Chris.
And I'm Amanda, and we're from Provost Park Pass, and we love FastPass Facts.
We love FastPass Facts. They're amazing. Now, if you like FastPass Facts, you will love Provost Park Pass too.
Go check us out, Provost Park Pass. We have Disneyland videos, Disneyland Paris videos, Disney World videos, Disney Cruise Line videos, and more.
By the way, check out the video and see if they actually cheated, because we didn't cheat. We think FastPass Facts cheated in the maze.
Who won the maze at Disneyland Paris? Thanks for watching.
We love Provost Park Pass.
Thank you so much, guys, for being with us today.
If you love Disney as much as we do, you will love their channel.
So go ahead and check them out. Thank you so much and see you next week.
Bye!